Have you ever felt your heart sink at a family gathering, that sudden wave of panic when you realize you might not make it to the bathroom in time? Or maybe you've stopped laughing as hard as you used to, holding back that joy because you're afraid of an embarrassing leak. Perhaps you've mapped out every restroom in town, planning your day around just-in-case moments, feeling like your confidence is slipping away with every step. If this is you, dear friend, you're not alone, and you don't have to accept this as just part of aging. In this video, we're revealing 6 everyday habits, things you might be doing right now, thinking they're harmless or even healthy, that are silently making your bladder leak worse. From your morning coffee to how you sit, these small choices could be stealing your freedom. Stay with us until the end, because we're sharing simple life-changing shifts that real women over 60 have used to reclaim their confidence, laugh without fear, and live boldly again. No pads, no shame, just you, thriving. Before we begin, I would appreciate it if you like this video, you can help me continue to spread the old age lesson. If you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. If you like this video, please comment number 1. If you don't like it, comment number 0 to let me know, so I can make a better video for you. Now let's get started. Habit 1. Holding it in too long. Picture Rose, a lively 71-year-old retired schoolteacher whose infectious laugh and zest for life brighten any room. Her days are filled with tending to her vibrant garden, where she nurtures roses and dahlias with the same care she once gave her students. For decades, Rose practiced what she called bladder training, a habit rooted in her belief that delaying bathroom trips as long as possible was a way to strengthen her bladder, much like a mental discipline or willpower exercise. She'd push through hours of gardening, social visits, or errands, ignoring the subtle cues her body sent, convinced she was building resilience. By mid-afternoon, however, Rose often faced a sudden, intense urge to urinate, sometimes too urgent to reach the bathroom in time, resulting in embarrassing leaks that left her frustrated and puzzled. She chalked it up to aging, unaware that her well-intentioned habit was undermining her bladder health. The bladder is a remarkable muscle, designed to expand and contract to store and release urine. However, holding urine for prolonged periods stretches it beyond its optimal capacity, much like overextending a rubber band. This overstretching weakens the bladder's elasticity, impairing its ability to signal the brain accurately about when it's time to go. The result? Confusing messages that manifest as sudden urgency, frequent urges with little warning, or even involuntary leaks during everyday activities like laughing or lifting a watering can. The pelvic floor muscles, a critical network of tissues acting as a supportive hammock for the bladder, uterus, and bowels, bear the brunt of this strain. Over time, the constant pressure from a distended bladder fatigues these muscles, reducing their ability to maintain continence during sudden movements or pressure changes, such as sneezing or standing up quickly. Rose's training was inadvertently setting her up for discomfort and loss of control. What to do instead? Instead of treating your bladder like a test of endurance, adopt a strategy that respects its natural rhythms and promotes long-term health. Begin by setting a reminder on your phone, watch, or even a small sticky note on your fridge to take bathroom breaks every 2 to 3 hours, regardless of whether you feel an immediate urge. This consistent schedule helps retrain your bladder to operate on a predictable rhythm, reducing the chaos of sudden urges and restoring a sense of control. These breaks should be calm and deliberate. Rushing to the bathroom at the last second only reinforces the cycle of urgency. Over time, this approach strengthens the bladder's ability to hold urine appropriately without overstretching, much like regular exercise strengthens a muscle without overexertion. For Rose, this could mean pausing her gardening to take a mindful break, perhaps admiring her blooms along the way. If you're worried about frequent trips disrupting your day, consult a healthcare provider to rule out underlying conditions like an overactive bladder. This isn't about surrendering to weakness. It's about partnering with your body to reclaim confidence and freedom in your daily activities. Habit 2. That morning coffee ritual. Envision Ellen, a 68-year-old retiree who treasures her morning ritual as a sacred start to her day. Each morning, she settles into her favorite armchair by the window, watching the sunrise paint the sky in hues of pink and gold, while savoring 2 robust cups of dark roast coffee. The rich aroma and warmth feel like a comforting embrace, grounding her before she tackles errands or meets friends for a walk. By 10 a.m., however, Ellen often finds herself sprinting to the nearest bathroom, her outings interrupted by frequent, urgent trips that leave her flustered. She attributed these episodes to aging or drinking too much water, never suspecting that her cherished coffee habit was a significant contributor to her bladder troubles. Caffeine, while a beloved morning pick-me-up, is a sneaky saboteur when it comes to bladder health. As a diuretic, it prompts the kidneys to produce more urine, filling the bladder faster than usual. As a stimulant, it irritates the bladder's sensitive lining, causing it to contract prematurely and triggering sudden, uncontrollable urges. For Ellen, that morning jolt of energy was setting her up for a day of stress, leaks, and disrupted plans. What to do instead? You don't have to abandon your morning ritual entirely, but strategic adjustments can preserve its comfort while protecting your bladder. Start by reducing your intake to 1 cup of milder coffee, perhaps a medium roast or a blend diluted with a splash of milk or water to lessen its intensity. If you're reluctant to cut back, consider switching 1 cup to a high-quality decaf, but scrutinize labels to ensure it's truly low caffeine, as some decaf blends retain trace amounts that can still irritate the bladder. For an even gentler option, explore caffeine-free herbal teas like chamomile, peppermint, or rooibos, which offer the same soothing warmth and ritualistic comfort without the diuretic or irritant effects. These teas come in a variety of flavors, from floral to earthy, allowing you to craft a morning routine that feels just as indulgent. Transition gradually, perhaps alternate days with coffee and tea, to ease into the change without sacrificing enjoyment. Ellen might find that sipping peppermint tea while watching the sunrise feels just as nurturing, with the bonus of fewer bathroom dashes. If you notice persistent urgency despite cutting back, consult a urologist to explore other triggers. By making these tweaks, you can maintain the sanctity of your mornings while keeping your bladder calm and your outings uninterrupted. If you are still watching this video and finding these lessons useful, please comment number 1 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Thank you for your valuable time. Habit 3. Slouching in your favorite chair. Meet Janice, a 73-year-old grandmother whose cozy recliner is her haven. Each evening, she sinks into its plush embrace, knitting intricate blankets for her grandchildren or losing herself in the twists and turns of her favorite mystery series. The recliner, with its soft cushions and adjustable settings, feels like a reward after a busy day. Recently, however, Janice has noticed small leaks during her shows, especially when she laughs at a clever plot twist or shifts to grab her knitting needles. She blamed these incidents on age or her evening chamomile tea, unaware that her beloved slouching posture was a key contributor. Slouching, whether with legs propped up, back curved, or hips tilted forward, may feel like the epitome of relaxation, but it's a silent strain on the body. This posture compresses the abdomen, pressing directly on the bladder and disrupting the alignment of the pelvic floor muscles. These muscles, which form a supportive sling for the pelvic organs, rely on proper alignment to function effectively. When slouched, they're unable to respond adequately to sudden pressures, like sneezing, coughing, or standing, leading to leaks and a sense of lost control. What to do instead? Transform your sitting habits to support your bladder and pelvic floor without sacrificing comfort. Begin by choosing a chair that allows you to sit with your feet flat on the floor, knees bent at a 90-degree angle, and spine in a neutral, upright position. If your recliner is non-negotiable, adjust it to a less reclined setting to minimize abdominal compression. Adding a small lumbar pillow or a rolled-up towel at the curve of your lower back can help maintain the spine's natural alignment, reducing pressure on the bladder. Practice this mindful posture during a single episode of your favorite show or while knitting a few rows, and pay attention to how your body feels. Your bladder will benefit from the reduced strain. To further strengthen your pelvic floor, consider incorporating gentle exercises like Kegels, but consult a physical therapist or doctor to ensure you're doing them correctly, as improper technique can worsen issues. For Janice, sitting with intention might mean knitting with a supportive pillow and noticing how her body feels more stable during sudden movements. Over time, these small changes can significantly reduce leaks, allowing you to enjoy your hobbies with confidence. This isn't about trading comfort for rigidity, it's about aligning your body to function optimally, so you can savor your evenings without worry. Habit 4. Overloading on water. Gloria, a lively 75-year-old retiree with a passion for gardening and community volunteering, has always prioritized her health, meticulously following medical advice to maintain her vitality. When her doctor stressed the importance of staying hydrated during a routine checkup, Gloria embraced the recommendation wholeheartedly. She invested in a sleek, reusable water bottle and made a habit of drinking large quantities of water throughout the day, often gulping it down to meet what she believed was a universal quota for optimal health. She felt proud of her discipline, confident that she was doing right by her body. However, Gloria soon began experiencing unexpected and distressing symptoms. frequent urinary leaks that left her scrambling for the nearest bathroom, multiple nighttime trips that disrupted her once restful sleep, and a persistent, heavy sensation in her pelvic area that made daily activities uncomfortable. What Gloria didn't realize was that her well-meaning hydration routine was inadvertently overwhelming her body's finely tuned systems. As we age, the bladder's capacity and efficiency change, and it's not designed to process excessive water, especially when consumed rapidly or in large volumes. Think of the bladder as a delicate, elastic balloon rather than an endless reservoir. When flooded with too much fluid too quickly, it becomes overtaxed, leading to misfires in the neural signals that control urination. This can manifest as sudden urgency, involuntary leaks, and increased strain on the pelvic floor muscles, which support the bladder and other pelvic organs. Overhydration can also disrupt the body's electrolyte balance, potentially causing fatigue, muscle cramps, or even more serious complications in older adults with reduced kidney function. The pervasive myth that more water is always better doesn't account for these physiological realities, particularly for those over 60, whose bodies may not process fluids as efficiently as in their younger years. Gloria's experience highlights how even well-intentioned habits can backfire without proper moderation. What to do instead? The goal is balanced hydration that supports overall health without overburdening the bladder. Aim for 6 to 8 cups, 48 to 64 ounces, of water daily, though individual needs vary based on body weight, activity level, climate, and medical conditions like kidney or heart issues. Consult a healthcare provider for personalized advice. Instead of gulping large amounts in one sitting, sip water steadily throughout the day, ideally every 30 to 60 minutes, to allow the bladder to manage the inflow gradually. To reduce disruptive nighttime bathroom trips, taper off fluid intake 1 to 2 hours before bedtime, and limit bladder irritants like caffeine, found in coffee, tea, and some sodas, and alcohol, which can increase urgency. Pair hydration with a diet rich in water-containing foods, such as cucumbers, watermelon, or soups, to supplement fluid intake naturally. This mindful, rhythmic approach ensures adequate hydration while minimizing bladder stress, promoting better sleep, fewer leaks, and a restored sense of control. After adopting this strategy, Gloria noticed a significant reduction in her pelvic discomfort and nighttime awakenings, allowing her to enjoy her gardening and social activities with renewed confidence. If you are still watching this video and finding these lessons useful, please comment number 2 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Thank you for your valuable time. Habit 5. Ignoring constipation. Betty, an 80-year-old grandmother and the cherished cornerstone of her family, has long been known for her warm hospitality, hosting elaborate Sunday dinners filled with homemade dishes and joyful laughter. For years, she brushed off her irregular bowel movements as an inevitable part of aging, assuming the occasional bloating, discomfort, and sluggishness were just par for the course. However, these symptoms began to escalate, sapping her energy and diminishing her vibrant spirit. Worse, Betty started experiencing urinary leaks, which left her feeling embarrassed and reluctant to host her beloved gatherings. Unbeknownst to her, her chronic constipation was directly contributing to her bladder issues, creating a complex interplay of problems in her pelvic region that stole her confidence. When the bowel becomes backed up, it exerts physical pressure on the bladder, compressing it and disrupting the brain-bladder communication that signals when it's time to urinate. This pressure also overworks the pelvic floor muscles, which play a critical role in supporting both the bladder and rectum. The result is a kind of pelvic traffic jam, where the crowded organs cause dysfunction, leading to bloating, urgency, and involuntary leaks. Chronic constipation can also weaken the pelvic floor over time, increasing the risk of pelvic organ prolapse or worsening incontinence. For Betty, ignoring her bowel irregularity wasn't just a minor inconvenience. It was a significant barrier to her quality of life, making her feel disconnected from the family traditions she cherished. What to do instead? Addressing constipation requires a comprehensive, proactive approach that supports both bowel and bladder health, restoring harmony to the pelvic region. Start by increasing dietary fiber intake to 25 to 30 grams daily, focusing on soluble and insoluble fiber from whole foods like prunes, berries, apples, pears, broccoli, carrots, oats, or whole grain bread. Introduce fiber gradually to prevent bloating, and pair it with steady water intake, as outlined in Habit 4, to soften stools and promote regular bowel movements. Physical activity is also crucial. Aim for 10 to 15 minutes of gentle exercise, such as walking after meals, to stimulate intestinal motility and relieve pelvic pressure. In the bathroom, consider using a small footstool, like a squatty potty, to elevate your feet, which aligns the rectum in a more natural position, relaxing the pelvic floor and making bowel movements easier and less straining. For persistent issues, consult a healthcare provider about safe options like gentle laxatives, stool softeners, or even biofeedback therapy to improve bowel function. Betty embraced these changes, adding prunes and berries to her breakfast, taking short walks with her grandchildren, and using a footstool in the bathroom. Within a few weeks, her bloating subsided, her bowel movements became regular, and her leaks significantly decreased, restoring her confidence and allowing her to host Sunday dinners with her signature joy and enthusiasm. If you are still watching this video and finding these lessons useful, please comment number 3 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Thank you for your valuable time. Habit 6. Skipping pelvic floor exercises. Martha, a 78-year-old retired nurse with a no-nonsense attitude, had spent decades caring for others but rarely focused on her health challenges. When she began experiencing urinary leaks, she dismissed pelvic floor exercises like Kegels as something for younger women or new mothers, believing they were irrelevant for someone her age. Instead, she relied on absorbent pads, assuming that bladder issues were an inevitable part of aging and that it was too late to make a meaningful change. However, Martha's approach overlooked a critical fact. The pelvic floor, a sling-like group of muscles that supports the bladder, rectum, and uterus in women, is like any other muscle in the body. It requires regular exercise to maintain strength and function, regardless of age. Without targeted strengthening, these muscles weaken over time, reducing their ability to control urine flow during everyday activities like coughing, laughing, sneezing, or even walking briskly. The myth that pelvic floor exercises are ineffective or unnecessary after 60 is simply untrue. Research consistently shows that women in their 70s, 80s, and beyond can achieve significant improvements in bladder control, pelvic strength, and even core stability within weeks of starting a consistent exercise routine. Neglecting these muscles not only exacerbates incontinence but also increases the risk of pelvic organ prolapse, lower back pain, and reduced mobility. For Martha, relying on pads was a band-aid solution that didn't address the root cause, leaving her feeling resigned and disconnected from her active, capable self. By contrast, strengthening the pelvic floor offers a proactive way to reclaim control and confidence, proving that it's never too late to invest in your body's resilience. What to do instead? Begin with simple, accessible pelvic floor exercises like Kegels, which require no equipment and can be done discreetly in almost any setting. To perform a Kegel correctly, identify the pelvic floor muscles by imagining you're stopping the flow of urine midstream. Avoid practicing during actual urination to prevent bladder irritation. Gently contract these muscles without squeezing your buttocks, thighs, or abdomen. Hold for 3 to 5 seconds. Then fully release for the same duration to avoid muscle fatigue. Start with 10 repetitions, 2 to 3 times daily, integrating them into daily routines like brushing your teeth, reading, watching TV, or waiting at a traffic light. As strength improves, gradually increase the hold time to 8 to 10 seconds, ensuring you maintain proper form to maximize benefits. Consistency is critical, but overexertion can tire the muscles, so allow brief rests between sets. For additional support, consider downloading apps like Kegel Trainer, My Pelvic Floor, or LV Trainer, which offer guided exercises, reminders, and progress tracking. If you're unsure about your technique or experience persistent symptoms, consult a pelvic floor physical therapist, who can provide tailored exercises, biofeedback, or even electrical stimulation for more complex cases. A healthcare provider can also rule out underlying conditions contributing to incontinence, such as urinary tract infections or neurological issues. Martha committed to this routine, practicing Kegels during her morning coffee ritual and evening reading sessions. Within 4 weeks, she noticed a marked reduction in leaks, a stronger sense of pelvic stability, and a newfound pride in her body's ability to adapt. Free from the inconvenience of pads, Martha felt empowered, confident, and ready to embrace her active lifestyle with renewed vigor. As we wrap up, dear sisters, take a moment to breathe and reflect on this journey we've shared. You've just uncovered 6 everyday habits that could be quietly holding you back from the confident, carefree life you deserve, and the simple, loving steps to change them. From rethinking that morning coffee to giving your pelvic floor a little TLC, these aren't just tips, they're your roadmap to freedom. What's one thing you've learned today that touched your heart or sparked a new idea? Maybe it's sipping water smarter, sitting taller, or finally giving Kegels a try. Please share in the comments below one habit you're ready to bring into your life. Your story could inspire another woman to take that first brave step. If you found hope or clarity in this video, please leave your comment below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Silver Strength Stories on YouTube. Together, we're building a community where every woman can age with grace, courage, and joy. Thank you for being here. We're in this with you, every step of the way.